Good morning, this is Keith All. In today's tutorial we're going to learn how to create this texture background in Photoshop, and you could use this background for multi-purposes in Photoshop, from of course using it as a background for your canvas, or even as a texture uh, for your text and stuff like that. So anyways, you could see on the screen there's it's grainy and there's lines in it. So let me zoom in. So if you could see that better, that would be great. But anyways, I'm going to show you how we can create this. So let's go to a new tab, and first thing we want to do is create a solid fill or solid color background. So I'm going to choose 2F3 as the hex 644. Click OK. Now what we want to do is we want to create a new layer, and we're going to call this grain. We're going to make sure our background or our foreground background colors are black and white. We're going to come up to Edit, Fill, and then we're going to select 50% gray and leave the blending mode as normal, opacity for 100%. Now what we want to do is we want to go up to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, and it creates this grainy background. And what we want to do is we want to keep this around 35%. If we adjust this, you could see what happens to the grainy background. So you can play around with this adjustment. I'm going to keep it right around 35%. And what we want to do is, if you select Gaussian, again, it's a matter of preference. I'm going to keep it as uniform. And if I'll show you what happens if we leave this unchecked, monochromatic. It adds more color to that grainy background. So I'm going to keep it checked, and it's more like a black and white and gray to it. So click OK. So that's our grain background. So now let's add a new layer, and now let's call this lines, Lines. We want to change this color to white. So let's change this, switch the foreground background color. So the foreground color is white. And now let's, on a PC, hit Alt Backspace, and that fills it in for you. Now what we want to do is we want to come up to Filter, Filter Gallery, and then it's automatically selecting what I selected the last time. But what you want to do is come down to the sketch folder and select the halftone pattern, and then the size I set at 6, contrast right around 30. Again, you could play around with these adjustments, and I'm going to slide it back and forth to show you the what happens to the pattern. So I'm going to keep it at 6. And again, with the contrast, watch what happens when I change the contrast. As you move it to the left, it becomes more blurry. If you move it to the right, it's more crisp and clear. So I'm going to keep it at 30. And the pattern type, I selected line. Again, this is something you could change if you want. I'm going to keep it as line for this example. Click OK. Once I come out of here, I want to change the blending mode to multiply, and the opacity I'm going to bring down to 10%. Let's go back to the grain level here, and I'm going to select that to be let's see, overlay. And there we go. So I forgot to do that on a grain level. So what you want to do is on the grain layer, select the blending mode as overlay and the opacity down to about 35%. And then on the line layer, select the blending mode as multiply and bring down the opacity to 10%. So this is a texture background that you can get. Again, you can play around with the adjustments and make your own texture backgrounds, and you can be creative that way. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you today. It gave you a new idea on how you could create different backgrounds and how you can apply it to your images. Please subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification so you always get updated when a new video is uploaded. And always like, share, and comment on the videos, because that helps out the community a lot, and it gives me more ideas on create new videos for our community. Thanks again, and have a great day.